Hola! It's about noon 20 right now. Thereabouts around the time when I left last week, I just am arriving this week because they said it was going to be raining and snowing this morning. I'm like, you know what? 2 weeks ago, I was in the rain. The rain, the rain, the rain. Last week, I was in the snow. So much snow. Lots and lots of snow. And actually, now that I think about last week, I had some technical difficulties, hopefully none that I'm going to face again today. I think it was more weather related. In light of what you missed, here are my top 10 shots from last week. Let's just go from earliest to latest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I always narrow it down to my favorite 10. I think it's a good habit. It's something I recommend for all y'all out there is when you get back from a day of shooting, no matter what the context of shooting is, obviously you import your photos. I put them on an external hard drive. I have like my own filing system. Maybe one day I'll make a video about it. Just for sake of terseness, I narrow it down to my favorite shots, and then I keep narrowing it down until I get my 10 best shots. A cool thing is, it's a chance for me to review my work from the day. I've said many times I take a lot of what I call sketch shots. I get to look at them and then just keep them in the back of my mind, file them away for when I come back to the city, try it over again. I'm gonna maybe try a couple of those shots today, and then besides that, just be in the moment. I'm hoping to walk to Midtown and City Center up to the Fisher Building. I have a piece of mail. I want to mail another postcard. That's just about my only goal today. Maybe I'll stop at the DIA, the Detroit Institute of Arts, and pick up some more postcards. You know, you can't predict what you're gonna find. And I thought this American flag stuck on the tree with the nice repeating pattern of the building in the background looked kind of iconic. I got it with this here lens. I took some pictures, which you can see right here. I thought they were nice. Immediately following, just to kind of round things out, I took some video, which you can see right there. I stood for a minute. You know, they say, come early, stay late, come again. The 3 rules of street and of video in general. And so I did the same. I hope you enjoy. Start whenever you're ready.
Okay. But yeah, that's the church Martin Luther King did the first I Have a Dream speech at. We do a march here on the 1st. We usually do it on January 15th, but whatever day they decide it be on. Because government holidays now fall on the Mondays. And when they fall on the Mondays, depend on that particular day. It just passed, I think, last Monday or something. The 20th or something. Then on April the 4th, we do another march from this church here down to Hart Plaza to celebrate his death.
When did you come here to Detroit?
Oh, I've been in Detroit about 10 years.
So your earliest memory of this city to the present, has it gotten better, worse, or stayed the
Oh, it's
same?
gotten a lot better.
From the present, now let's think to the future. Is it going to get better?
It's getting better. Everything's getting better. Downtown got lights now. There used to be a time you couldn't come out at nighttime.
What do you attribute the improvement of the city to?
You know, to a lot of the contractors, the mayor.
Duggan?
You know, yeah, Duggan did a lot of things.
A lot of people say a lot of good stuff about that man.
We did the grand opening. I don't have my phone on me, but he and I on the picture together where
Really?
we did when we did the grand opening to the senior citizen buildings down there. They remodeled that. I'm the type of person, I know how to be down. I don't sleep on these streets. I don't sleep on Hart Plaza. I don't sleep on the bridges and shelters, but I know now I go home to my apartment and I go there with my keys and everything in there is brand new.
When I walk up to a homeless person, and you've been homeless, you're saying,
right,
what should I do?
To talk to them, but the best thing is not to do is to pull out money around a lot of them. Because a lot of them out here got this little game, I'm homeless, I'm a homeless vet, blah, blah, this. This city got so much to give. This church here feeds Monday through Thursday from 8:30 in the morning all the way up until 11 o'clock. And then it was real cold, they could stay in there till 4 o'clock.
A wise person I know told me, don't give to the homeless, but give to a reputable shelter. No. If I give money, who should I give it to help the homeless?
Like they had a guy a couple of days ago, he was walking around just passing out $10 bills and stuff like that. Fill your heart with it. Because a lot of them will come up to you and say, I'm homeless, but they're not homeless.
What's like a shelter? Like
you got some shelters, you got rescue mission, NSO, but a lot of times staff take the stuff.
You're saying that the shelters here are corrupt?
Yes.
Is there any that isn't? Because I want to know.
The Salvation Army is more straighter than all the rest of them.
So give to the Salvation
Army. Or St. Vincent de Paul.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Johnny.
Johnny.
Johnny H.
Johnny H. It's a
Right.
pleasure to meet you, and thank you so much. Just took some pictures of that lady walking away. I forget, is this a Mary Tyler Moore show? We're gonna make it after all.
Make
You
sure
know,
you take a picture of that church.
there's Johnny. Hey, Johnny, have a good day.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
God bless you, Johnny. Oh, I forgot to add, I also interviewed that gentleman walking away named Johnny. I'm just meeting people today. No, but that lady, it reminded me of the Mary Tyler Moore show, where in the intro to the TV show, she's carrying a couple grocery bags, paper bags, and this lady had all these paper bags. Here are the shots of the lady. And you just watched the interview with none other than Johnny. He really enlightened me, and hopefully maybe I can volunteer and help the homeless, something I've actually been wanting to do, and lo and behold, God put it in my life. What are the chances? What are the odds? What a crazy coinkadink of coinkadinks. Headed this way up toward Midtown. In fact, I'll be in Midtown in shake of a lamb's tail, head up to City Center, drop off a postcard at the Fisher Building, and just kind of play it by ear from there. Just took a picture of a couple standing right there. The guy had like these cool round glasses on. The ladies look very cool too. I will not say they weren't. Hers are blue and clear, his are kind of orange and clear. And I'm like, oh, the complementary colors. And then I'm like, wait, what do I have around my neck right now? I'm a photographer after all. I like taking pictures of people. What do I? So I turn heel, go back, and I'm like, hey, can I take your picture by the way? They're like, yeah, go ahead. And here are the pictures. Wait, I gotta get a good snap. Those are the pictures. Let's call them all good, because them glasses, I didn't ask where they got them from. I mean, I don't wear glasses, so it's not really a concern of mine, but the aesthetics of them is a concern. Our concern is our aesthetics. I don't know. Grammar files, correct me. MJM, help me out here. The aesthetics are good, or the aesthetics is, no, are, right? Right? I don't know. In either event, I'm headed this way up. I'm in Midtown, headed to City Center. Maybe I'll stop by the Detroit Artists Market where I had shots on display, wave hello, stop at the Detroit Institute of Arts, get some more postcards. But most importantly, I want to see if I can mail, I have a postcard in my satchel here, if I can mail it from within or without the Fisher Building, within the vicinity of the Fisher Building at the least. Here's to hoping for that. Back to shooting. Just re-upped on some postcards from Detroit Institute of Arts, because nothing's classier than fine art masterpieces on the pretty side of the postcard. I am taking a time lapse of that American flag with a little bit of these two other parts of this building complex on either side of it, atop a snowdrift, which is a nice turn of events to turn a mini tripod into a proper tripod by using the weather to your advantage. I sure am glad it's not raining today. I'm glad it's not snowing today. Quite a dry day. I'm gonna stay here for probably at least 10 minutes because it takes a picture every second, shooting at 720p 60 frames a second. So every minute of pictures is a second in video time for the end product. I hope it turns out well, and you can see before me, actually way after me, right here. Ooh and ah. That is a result of a lot of moving around and recomposing and trying to get the exposure just right. The focus is easy because this is a vintage Nikkor lens. It has hard stops on either end of the focus throw. I know if I just click it to the infinity focus end of the focusing, it's gonna be rock solid. And so it is. And really the concern, one thing I've learned in doing all of these time lapses is to make sure that the level is good. I am so blessed that this camera has an auto level. I don't know how I could shoot without one, especially time lapses, because it's key to have it be straight, because I don't use any fancy video editing software where I could change the level. Where it sits, there it lies, and I have to live with the consequences. I do my due diligence on the upfront side of things to get it right. Another pro tip I'm sure I've shared before, but I'll share it again. In fact, I know I've shared it before in an earlier vlog, which is a great time to say my first 15, they come at a cost. You can see my first 15 vlogs here. This is my 17th vlog here in the city of Detroit, a city I do not love, but I'm learning slowly but surely to appreciate. You can see my first 15 if you support me on patreon.com/cdetroit like I do. There you'll find, in fact, about 4 years worth of all kinds of content, not just vlogs. That was a as late development. I was gonna say my second pro tip for taking time lapses is if you have an intervalometer, set it to the maximum maximum amount of time. You might say, oh, I'm only going to stay here for 20 minutes and then leave, and then set it for 20 minutes, and then on minute 21, something interesting comes into the frame that you missed. So I set it to the maximum. I set it to 3 hours. I know I'm not going to be here for 3 hours, but just in case if Bigfoot comes riding in on a UFO carrying the secrets of Roanoke and Croatoan, I'm ready, as long as he's in frame. Actually, I think I would probably put my camera down and start taking a video instead of stills, but you get the point. I'm just gonna stand here for 10 minutes and, like I said, hope for the best. What's that phrase? Do as I say, not as I do. You know, I just said I use the level to make sure that the shot is level, and I just reviewed that time lapse and it's not level. Now, speaking of advice, something I've struggled with, I always want to be growing as I shoot here in Detroit. I kind of have this habit, whether good or ill, I take a shot and I move on. Well, probably I take 10 shots and I move on, but I don't really stay for a while. I always am I'm like Beelzebul, moving across the earth to and fro, never finding rest. Maybe that's kind of a satanic approach that's bringing me down. After all, house divided against itself shall not stand. It shall fall. I'm tempted to go and try it again, and I am a perfectionist, believe you me, but I want to get other shots. I can see in the distance is the Fisher Building. All I have to do is walk another 15 minutes and I'll be right underneath it. I can mail that postcard before they close up for the night. And I'm kind of more feeling like I want to do that than sit for another 10 minutes just so I can get the shot a little bit tilted. That's probably a bad habit I should get over. You know, I should learn more patience. I have feet of clay. I will be the first, middle, and last one to tell you that. I'll be saying it over and over again like many things I say. One aspect of my humanity is the fact that I don't really follow my own advice or even think about my own advice for that matter, even if I'm trying to follow it. And one way I don't think about it is the fact that I've always called my street photography journey, adventure, just in general, I call it not a race but a marathon. I'm taking my time. It's not like I have to be at a certain place by a certain time. Not necessarily. I can come back next week. I can return to the scene of the crime, as it were. One thing that I always don't do is take my time when I'm here. I have no schedule. I mean, I do want to be back by a decent hour. I don't really have to be to the next place so soon. Maybe I need to learn how to slow down. Sadly, I'm afraid it might not be until I'm an old man and physically slowed down that I'll finally learn that lesson the hard way and then kick myself for not learning it sooner and say that youth is wasted on the old. Ifs, ands, or buts notwithstanding, I am trying my best when I can help it. Headed still to the Fisher Building. Gonna mail me that postcard. Just gonna see what else the day has. Probably start headed back to my car and head back home because it is getting late. Late for me. Here's a review and a preview. I'm right here at the corner of Woodward and Milwaukee West. You'll notice there's an honorary street name, Stevie Wonder Avenue. Yes, that's Stevie Wonder. The review part of this transmission is that, like I said, the first 15 vlogs I did, they're up on patreon.com/see-Detroit like I do. If you pay a modest sum, you can see all of them. In one of them, I tell a story you'll hear nowhere else about Stevie Wonder. I'm planning soon to tell yet another story you will probably hear nowhere else about Stevie Wonder. Someone just told me it from their own personal history. I am not at the location to tell a story because I'm going to go to the location where Stevie Wonder was so many years ago, about 60 years ago, and tell the story on location. But in the meantime, I'm gonna head over to the Fisher Building and mail that postcard. But like I said, look forward to that probably in the next vlog or in a coming vlog. I'm gonna tell not just a story about Stevie Wonder, but a story about a man named Paul Williams, who's famous for being part of the Temptations, yet another Motown group, just like Stevie Wonder. He was a Motown artist here in the Motor City to begin with, and you'll wonder why I call myself the MotorCityLensman.com. Check out my website. There's a second ad as I'm walking up toward the Fisher Building. I just got a couple more postcards here at Urbanum, Detroit, and I talked to the lady. She is a 20-year social studies teacher for Detroit Public Schools, now teaches social studies at Eastern Michigan University. She's a university professor professor. And so we had a lovely conversation about civics, about government, about suffrage, just about politics. And guess what? This year, the current year, as they say, 2020, this very, very tumultuous time to be a political persona, it was a lovely conversation. We did not fight. We had a nice debate about a couple things, and it was nice. I'm here in New Center. I'm sorry, I always call it City Center, but it's actually called New Center. Most people call them green onions, but they're really scallions. If you get that, comment below, or I don't know. I don't know what will be the way of reaching out to people in the future, because I'm not sure in what format this presentation experience will be taken in the future. This is the Fisher Building. I don't know actually, but I assume that they have some sort of a mailbox inside, and it probably won't be as cool as the coolest mailbox in all of Detroit, the mailbox inside of the Guardian Building, because that was literally designed entirely by the same guy who designed the whole building. That guy was a perfectionist. A man after my own heart. Ah, it's starting to rain. Oh boy, I'm gonna have a rainy walk back to my car. At least I'm here in the shadow, as it were, almost the shadow of the Fisher Building. I'm gonna mail them their postcard to you, MJM. I guess the rest of the people watching will get to see and hopefully enjoy the same. I'm gonna see maybe if I can get at least a shot or two inside, or at least on the outside, because this is a masterpiece of a building here in Detroit, an Art Deco masterpiece. And I'll say it as I've said it before, I'll say it once again. If I were a fulfilled wisher, I would regild the top of the Fisher with a coruscating cap of gold. The Art Deco archipelago deserves a proper diadem atop its gem. Actually, you can see the Instagram post relating to that right there. I'm quite fond of this building. I hope that some stardust passes on from it into that postcard that I'm sending to you, MJM. Don't mind if I do. I'm here in front of the glorious Fisher Building, about to walk in and see if there is a place I can mail my mail. So the mailman can pick it up, put it in his satchel, put it in a truck, and send it on a one-way trip to wherever the sun shines more than it does here in Detroit. I think that's how it works, right? I think. I don't know. I'm in the basement of the Fisher Building, which is a 1928 masterpiece of a building. And check out this mailbox. Oh me, oh my, oh my, oh me. This is as cool as it gets. 1928, this is built. I mean, look at that. That is how all mailboxes should be built. Cutler Mail Chute Company, Rochester, New York. Oh boy. What does that mean in Latin? Lur Mail Chute Co. Rochester. Okay, I thought it was, I'm sorry. I thought it was some sort of fancy Latin phrase. And that's like the bottom of the Great Seal. You can see the eagle and the wing and holding the arrows and the fasces or something like that, right? But look at that. Ooh. It's inside the box. That's so cool. But there's actually another one upstairs, so I'm going to walk in from the outside and try to mail it again, because I think it'll look even cooler walking from outside. Just for those of you who are curious, this is the cool mail situation here at the Fisher Building in New Center, Detroit. All that for that. I just had a lovely conversation with the two gentlemen working at the Fisher Building. Hello, hi, if you end up watching this video, I don't know. I said it in the last vlog, I'm going to say it again. This is Detroit. Some people call it the murder capital. There's the top of the Fisher Building coming into frame. But this is also the Midwest that we're in, which means that people are very nice in this city. This is a city just full of people that care, people with soul. This is Detroit City. This is a city that has literally burned down and been built back up. This is a city that many more times, sadly, figuratively, has burned down and had to build itself back up, pull itself up by its own bootstraps. And there is a humbling aspect that emerges from the ashes of such events, and it is readily apparent all over this wonderful city of Detroit, not least of which with its citizens, with its people. I just had a wonderful example of that. I got to live through it with a couple of gentlemen there at the Fisher Building. That is the high note upon which to end this day as I look upon the high point of the Fisher Building. Like I said, I wish the Fisher would be gilded gold atop itself instead of painted green, even though the local radio station WJR says broadcasting from the golden tower of the Fisher Building. No, it is green. They just shine a golden light on it. It's like an inverse of the Emerald City in the book upon which The Wizard of Oz is based. The Emerald City wasn't actually emerald in color. People just wore emerald tinted glasses. And the same is true of the Fisher Building. I want the reality of the gold top of that glorious tower to happen within my lifetime. If not too long after it. There's a gentleman right there. Wait, right there. His surname is Miles. He said, you should take some pictures at the Cadillac Building, which is behind these trees, inconveniently. Let's see, wait. The Cadillac Building is actually like a series of buildings, just as old as the Fisher Building. And I said, well, how are you such an expert? He's like, well, I worked there. I said, oh. And I'm like, here, let me give you my card. Because honestly, it's starting to rain. I gotta get going home. It's getting late. I want to have time to like look at all this stuff. I took some quick pictures of the gent. See if I can get a good snap off. Halfway snap, but good enough. Better than good enough are the shots of Mr. Miles himself. And hopefully I'll be hearing back from the gent. Get the skinny on the Cadillac Building. I just got done telling you this is a beautiful city. Well, I spoke too soon. I'm blurring that out right now, hopefully. But yeah. And who's Peaky? And why does Peaky need to be free? I don't know. These are things maybe I could be taking a picture of, but I don't like documenting swear words. I don't like documenting filth. I don't like documenting the bad side of the city. I think this is a beautiful city. A city, admittedly, I do not love, but I'm learning slowly but surely to appreciate. It is through shooting here in Detroit that I'm learning to appreciate this city. I don't know. I hope for the best. I honestly do. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best, right? I'm in News Center. I keep calling it City Center. It's called News Center because originally it was intended to be the new center of the city with a spoke and wheel design, kind of like circles with the circle being like a park, the spokes, the streets that would shoot out in every direction around the wheel, and the next wheel would have been the new center of the city, but it never quite panned out. Really, this is News Center behind me, or I'm in News Center right now. This is Midtown kind of directly behind me and way out of frame beyond that. Beyond the vanishing point of this shot is downtown Detroit. Downtown Detroit is where all the action is here in the city. That's why I like shooting there most of all, get the most pictures. You know, like I said, Willie Sutton. Why does he rob banks? Because that's where all the money is. Why do I predictably shoot in downtown Detroit? Because that's where all the people are. I'm headed back to the people. Man of the people. Just took another cool shot, a series of shots with this cool light changing background right here and Mike's Pizza Bar. Very corporate shot, which kind of is not really my typical style. I think it's kind of annoying, kind of weird, but what are you gonna do? This could be a cool thumbnail. Here's a series of shots. Ooh and ah, that is what is going on. Headed back to my car right now. It's been a long day. It's starting to snow. I am fixing to get in the warm and the dry and stay there a while. This little, I don't even know what you'd call it, LED display with the historic Fox Theater in the background. This is the LCA, the Little Caesars Arena, our hockey and basketball and entertainment hub here in Detroit. The classy entertainment hub is the Fox Theater right there. I got a shot that was recently on display at a local gallery. You can see right here. over at Detroit Artists Market, the oldest continually running nonprofit gallery in the Midwest.